Hello, everybody. Hello, friends, family. And if you're traveling or just, I don't know, going on vacation. Anyway, you are at Van Life with Minister Mary. Aloha Keakua. Aloha Keakua means God is love, and we know He truly is. So where am I today? Last night I was on and I looked a disaster. Today a little better. Have makeup on, and this is as good as it gets, by the way. Not heavy makeup, but just makeup. I did do my eyes and I did try to get some lipstick on and, just not look as scary as I did yesterday. Anyway, so I'm on here to tell you I think I fixed the problem. Yesterday we talked about, oh gosh, I put the one table up on the side here. It's like a glass, mirrored thing, and I loved it. It's beautiful. I had it at my house for a long time. And I wanted to use it here, and then it fell over with everything. Like everything fell over, okay? So today I went out here. I pulled everything out. I still have some of my clothes out there in the carport, by the way. But it's in a container, so it's not like, hello, my underwear is like flapping in the breeze. So that's over there. But I wanted to see if I could figure out, well, what am I going to do? I tried a board behind it. I was going to try to screw the board in. That didn't work. The board would have gone a little crooked because the wall is not straight, because the door is behind there. And they're just numerous things. I tried. I said, well, this table is not going to work. Let me take it out. So I took it out, took everything out. So now I went ahead and I changed it. Now, I know you can't see back there yet. Maybe you can just a little bit. But I am going to turn the light on and you'll be able to see more. What I'm going to have to do now is always enter from the driver's side or the passenger side. That's where I'm going to have to come in from, because I don't want to keep sliding my door, my side door. I can if I want air. I can if I want to see out. It's set up that way. So, but for now, I'm going to have to go in and out the front way here. So I'm learning, because I'm in my driver's seat right now. So in order to get out, it's a little bit of a maneuver, because I got to get my legs through where I'm sitting and then where the console is. So it's a little bit of a gymnastics thing here. Unless I push the seat back a little bit more. Maybe I can. I don't like to push it back too far. But, yeah, I can. And then I have my Reflectix right there. So, of course, I got to find a place for that, a home for that. But let me get up. It's going to be, a little tour for you. And I'll show you what I did. So far, it's working. I'm going to go for a ride in a little while. And when I take my little ride, I'm going to see if anything falls. We hope not. It seems like it's wedged in there pretty tight. I have stuff on the floor. Found out that the floor is not exactly that even in that one spot. So, hence the problem. All right, so if I open my door, of course, I'm going to get a lot of light. But let me go find my lights. And when we go back there. So here we go, back into the dark, mysterious place. You coming with me on a journey? Okay, I will get the light on. One light on. Now, they're not going to be super bright lights, but for now, until I get, that's the other thing I want to do, is put the lights up. And where's the button on the other one? There we go. So, like I said, it's not going to be super, super, super bright in here. I do have the curtains. I still have my blackout curtains, so that's why it's going to be there and be darker. But I did want you to kind of see what happens. So, in turning this around, there's my light up there. So what I've done is, here's the little cubbies that I have. So what I've done is I've run the cubbies down. There's a 3-drawer thing there with my clothes, and then the cubbies all the way down, right? So there we go. If I come up a little bit, I still have my thing for my makeup. Now, you will see bungee cords here, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, going kind of across. Okay? So, hopefully you can kind of see all of that. Now, behind me, of course, still is the kitchen area. So, on this side is where I had that desk. But if you notice, because I'm going to be traveling, I'm going to bungee everything down, right? So, that table is there. my kitchen table is there. Can you see that? I don't know like how well I did that. Yes, it's right there. Why am I going so low then with the camera? It's right there. Anyway, so that's the table I can eat at. My potty is in a more away from this area. I did have to leave it closer to the kitchen area, but it's kind of closer to where the 2 seats are too, so I can kind of scoot it over. Obviously you're not going to have food out and be going potty at the same time, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to keep everything extremely clean. But I did find out the floor is a little bit uneven, so when you're in here, things would tend to lean in from that side, because that side over there where the door slides, you know, back and forth, that's higher. And I figured out why it was higher. I don't know why I didn't figure it out before. There's a black plastic around it, right where the step is. So that's how they finish the step off. So of course it's higher. So if anything's on it, it's going to tip in a little bit. So hence that's what happened. So that's why it tends to lean. My bed is still very much there. There's cubbies behind that bed, and there's cubbies underneath. Yes, I just put her doggy thing there for now, because I can put it back down on the floor, but I didn't want to do that till I know that this thing is going to stay. So what I'm going to do when I travel is keep the bungee cords on it. Those bungees are pretty tight. I made sure it's not like yesterday where they were slightly loose. I can only get them on the one side, because I can only get them on this one side because that's where there's holes in the top to get them on. So when I travel, that's traveling mode. I'm going to tie everything down, bungee everything up. I did two bungees where the books were because they flew out of there yesterday. So I think we're going to try that. I do have a little bench I can put in here, which will go in front of this cubby thing, which would then allow me, when I'm here, see where the mirror is, and I would be able to sit there and then do my makeup, do my hair. And the reason why I want the little bench is because it has a top that comes up and down so I can store things in it. I'm going to cut it down a wee bit because it's a little too tall for this. I measured it last night. So I'll be not hammering, but sawing later. But I am going to go out for lunch today. I'm going to take Lola with me because she's been in the house by herself today since I started. And I started this around 11. And it's about 2:30. So I just want to get out. And I want her to get out with me. She's going to be with me all day. It's not super hot in here. It's 73, I think, outside today. Will be the high, or 75. Same for tomorrow. We're not in direct sunlight. So, you know, if you're traveling, even though this is insulated, and it's insulated quite well, I still would advise, hey, guys, have your fans. Make sure you have cross breeze fans. I have my one fan still. I've got to put up the other 3 that I have. They're Arctic fans. Actually, 4 now. No, 3. Sorry, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 of them. Plus any other fans you have. It just helps circulate the air. If I open the door slightly, which I still can, even with this arrangement, because I left it so that I could reach the handle of the door, right? So if I come over here and I want to get at the handle, it is here, so I can still open the door. But it's, you know, I want to be able to go in and out the front. Like there's something on YouTube that this gentleman was saying, go in and out the front. Try not to keep sliding that door, because then people see what's in there. And then, oh, look, somebody might be living in there, right? So you're not very stealthy if you're doing that. And I know the dog is used to going in and out that way, but I'm going to have to take her in and out the other way, which I think what I'm going to do is take that bed that's there and put it on the front seat. But I want to find a way to make sure that's attached to the seat so it doesn't go flying. She loves her doggy box. It's up there, but it just sets up kind of high. And because she's setting up high, she can see, but everybody else can see. Unless I put something black over it so that it's just like, oh, there might be, you know, something under there like a black box or whatever. And once I get all my Reflectix for all my windows, I have for the front window, not a problem. I actually made it. I took and sewed 2 together that are for trucks. So I actually sewed them together, added pieces on for the width. So if it's really nice, it's just bulky, but it goes, it works, and it does help. So now I gotta get the side windows. That's the biggest challenge because those windows are quite large. And yeah, you can buy them that are like quilted and have, you know, all kinds of stuff in them. And they're beautiful. I've seen them. But I can't spend that right now, right? So it's like I'm not going to want to do that right now. But I just wanted you to know that this light's going to blink for a second. There you go. I just wanted y'all to know that we got it in. Now I'm going to go for a ride with this thing down here. And that will also carry some of the clothes. So instead of having the other 3-drawer thing that's sitting out in my carport right now, I'm going to be able to take those, roll them, and put them in those boxes. And that goes in the cubby thing. So, and then these other 3 drawers do have clothes in them. I still have a 3-drawer thing that has all my jewelry in it. So I got to find a way to bring the jewelry in here. And I got a good idea how I want to do that because they're already in boxes, like smaller boxes. And it may be that I just pile them up in like a little cubby like that, you know, but that it'll work. It'll work. So I'm not too worried. I think 2 cubbies will probably take it all. So yes, when I want something, I'm going to have to probably dig for it and look for it. And if I don't use some of that jewelry over time, just give it away. I mean, you know, there's other people that can enjoy it. So, you know, necklaces and such. Because the necklace that you see on me is one I wear all the time with the Star of David and the cross, you know. So, because I do believe in Jesus, as you well know. And there we go. So, that's why I have that. So, the cross and the Star of David. So, I'm going to be able to put in, I think, one more little box that has all my undies in it. And that'll go on top of the 3-drawer thing. I know, TMI. But that'll go in there. And that will give me plenty. And I already have stuff behind me under the bed and the other cubbies that are down below there. So, and I'm going to have more than enough, right? And I always had more than enough stuff. I didn't even realize what all I had. And I started to go through it and go, why do I have all this? What am I doing? Like, duh. So I'm going to get rid of some stuff again. I have to go purging again. And that's, you know, once this is more set up, I think I'm going to feel more like doing that. Let me go back to the front here. But you get the idea. I got the cubbies in there. Now it's the test. So I'm going to go ahead and get something to eat. Oh, look at, there's light. And then there was light. I do want to put lights in the back. I just didn't get that far yet. So... and most likely the fairy lights, because when you put all those fairy lights on, you got quite a bit of light. I also have those lights that stick, you know, you stick them on. It's got some stick them on the back. And then you just use a remote, and I still have those. It's got a strip of lights. So, guys, I think I'm going to be all right. I wanted you to know, you must be praying for me because I know I was working really hard earlier, and I put a bungee cord on those cubby things, and it didn't stay, you know, like the hook didn't stay. The one hook stayed on top, but then the other hook did, and it flew back up really, and I kind of turned my head. Thank God I closed this eye because I got hit right here, right above, right up here, like hard with that hook, because that hook came up, and I just kind of reacted and did one of those, but closed my eye. If I would not have closed my eye or reacted that fast, I would not have a left eye right now. We'd be in the emergency with a whole nother story. So, that was only by the grace of God. And I know I still look tired and a little more like disheveled and wore out, but I have been lifting boards, trying to see if I could make a wall. You know, and then I took the other table out, then I put the cubbies in, and it, like I say, you know, it's all by, you know, by myself. So I'm not complaining. I'm grateful to the Lord that I have the strength to do it. If it wouldn't have been for my son that always told me, Mom, you need to lift, you know, lift weights, at least some. Now, I can't lift what he lifts, obviously, and my muscles are not big like that, but I think being in here and taking the dog out more and going for more walks and being able to do more things and being more mobile is going to help my overall health. and being able to go to Planet Fitness so I can get a shower when I'm living in here and I can go to the gym, it may encourage me more because I haven't been doing stuff like I used to. I have my home gym and it was so convenient. All I had to do was walk out the door and go there, right? So it's like right there. I don't know, maybe it's too convenient when people have that. Because then we just get complacent and lazy. And there's no doubt about it. Complacent and lazy. That would be me. And that's what happens. So I do want to change that. I do want to be out in nature more. I do want to go ahead and walk the dog more. And then I think she'll calm down also because she's always by herself. And unless she's in here with me or I take her to work, whatever. But otherwise, like yesterday, she was alone all day. And there's nothing for her to do. I mean, you know, like that's why dogs tear the place up. She fortunately doesn't. She sleeps a lot. And then she's so excited when I come home because, well, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to fix that problem. So anyway, I wanted you to know the cubbies are now in. I am happy with what it looks like. And yes, I tried it last night with the bench. Yes, I can sit in front of there. It doesn't, my knees and my legs don't hit anything. I would be able to actually get this makeup on and get my hair, you know, combed and, you know, and all of that. So I will be able to do it. I will be able to take care of myself. I can bring in my tooth stuff, you know, I brush my teeth and all of that and get that done and get that in here too. So I'm going to have places for things and everything will be in its place. And that way, you got to keep this neat though, because if you're in a van this size, yes, it's bigger than a minivan, but minivan Lee, like she's super, super clean. And, you know, I'm taking her, you know, her up on that because like she always talks about being super clean. I am listening. And you will have to. You mean you'll have to do your dishes right away, wash them right away. If you got paper plates, okay, don't let them sit there, like throw them out. Tie up your garbage bag, you know, all of that, because you're in a smaller space and it's like having like a little bedroom, let's say, like a little tiny bedroom. So what would you do with a little tiny bedroom? Just leave all your food all over the place and garbage? You can't, you know. I have garbage in my hand right now that I had in my front here where I put my bottles and cups and things. And I'm like, yeah, what's that doing there? It's just receipts, you know, from the store or from the gas station. I'm like, why I got that there? I probably forgot, probably just stuck it in there because I was going somewhere and then left it. No, we're not going to start that. We don't need a collection of receipts. So, but in a space like this, it's different. You do have to be more aware. In your big house, you know, it's not as noticeable because things are more spread out, right? I don't think we notice as much. I always try to keep that nice and neat too, but now it looks like a disaster area because I'm pulling everything out because I know I got to start packing, moving. What am I going to keep? What am I going to get rid of? But so when I have a couple things slated for somebody who wants it, and then the other stuff is just going to go bag and go bye-bye. So, and if I can do like 1 or 2 more bags and eliminate even more clothes. Clothes, ladies, is what we have a lot of, and I don't know why. Because honestly, I wear almost the same stuff all the time because I teach. I teach music. It's not formal. It's not like I'm in a classroom and I'm standing in front of a class and there's a dress code. There is a dress code. I mean, you're not supposed to come in like t-shirt and, you know, sweats or look like you just came from the gym. I got all that. I understand that. We even have our own little t-shirts that say Capella Music on them, you know, which is fine. I've got my 2 for that. But it's, you know, you wear the same stuff, the same type. You know, I'm not going to wear a dress and a skirt and heels and blah, blah, blah. I don't need that anymore. That part of my life is done. So it doesn't mean I can't go out and look nice and presentable, like a nice pair of jeans or dress pants or, you know, I am keeping 1 or 2 dresses and a skirt. But I mean, as far as, no, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I don't teach Zumba like I did before. I can, but I don't have the Zen license, so you're not supposed to. So that you're not to use that name. You're not supposed to, you know, you have to pay into that organization to be able to use it. Well, I'm not doing it anymore. So why would I keep all that stuff? Anything related to that, why would I keep it? For what reason? So I'm not going back to that. The monthly payment is just too high it's not worth it for me. So, and I'm not making enough at it. There's too many, there's a teacher on every corner, right? So I'm just done. So I want to do the nature thing. Walking, jogging, getting out with the dog, Speaking of which, major pet retailer to close, 25 stores. Anyway, so I'm getting news feed. But speaking of pets, I don't know which store that is. We'll find out. But, and you just got to use your head, I just put another weapon in here today. That's another thing. If you're going to be traveling, have your weapons handy, all about your place. Nobody has to know where they all are, but plant them around so you know where they are. Yeah. So that's going to be something I got to work on. But I'm going to be working on it. You'll see more videos. I just want to let you know I was able to fix that, and I'm going to go for a ride. And we'll see if anything tips over. If that thing tips over, honestly, I don't know what else to do. So if anybody has any ideas, I thought about what if I just put all the 3 drawer things there with the clothes in them and then put a board across the top but then you can't really sit there with your legs, because you got to sit off to the side, which you can. But I would rather do cubbies because that's how I had my clothes. In the one place I lived was all in cubbies because I didn't have a lot of space. I may be able to just do that again. So, yeah. We will see. I've gotten rid of a lot, and I'm going to get rid of some more. I got a little pile in the house, so I'm going to add to that and get rid of more clothes. I'm like, what do I think? Where do I think I'm going? I'm not going to the Cinderella ball. And, if I really had to go to a Cinderella ball, that's when you buy the dress for it, So I have 1 or 2 long dresses, although I really do like, and I may keep those too. But they're easy to fold up. I mean, they're not like big and puffy. So I can just fold them up, call it a day. I don't do the sundresses and that. Not in Washington State. Good heavens to Betsy, you'd freeze to death. So even on a hot day, you'd still be like, oh, there's a breeze. I'm kind of chilly, So, and it's not the type of environment here that you would do that. California, yeah. That made total sense. The way I dressed there was California style. I could, but it's not, no. I don't need all these like jumpers and cutesy dresses and, like I told you, the girls working in the van. Oh, I got my little shorts on and my top on. It's so easy. La, 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 la. No. So this lifestyle is different and it's got to be practical. So if you're practical, it's easy. So, and I'm pretty practical and I'm very methodical. So with that being said, I'm going to go be methodical and go get my dog and go for lunch. So she gets a ride. I got a little something to eat. I think I'm going to buy something that I can eat in here. And then that way I can actually use my facilities for my lunch. And the dog can too. Excuse me. And, we'll be able to have a nice little picnic lunch in here and enjoy ourselves. So I think I'm going to do that and just chill out for a while and enjoy. I think once I'm in here permanently, I will be able to eat out a little bit more. Not that I want to do it every single day, but I do enjoy eating out. I just like being amongst the people, talking to the waitresses, that kind of thing. So I go more for that than anything else. And I don't go to the fanciest restaurants around because why? I just want to get a sandwich, and something to drink and, call it a day. Have my coffee and maybe a little dessert after, and that's it. That's my lunch, and whatever's left over becomes my dinner. So, yeah. So I got a couple places in mind. I'm going to go see where I end up, but I'm going to get off of here in the meantime. Now, look, y'all. Love one another as the Lord has loved you, because he does love you. And he is watching over you. And if you don't think he didn't watch over me this morning with that thing flying up as fast as it did, hitting my left eye, my eye, honestly, I'm going to move my bangs out the way here. I know it looks scary when I don't have my bangs there. It did not even swell. And it hit right there, right in that, I have eyes that set back a little bit more. So, I forget, it's like a snake, your eyes set back. It's recessed. I don't know, there's a way to call it anyway in makeup world, but it hit right in here, and man, I felt that. I was afraid I damaged my eyeball. I really was. I thought, oh no. So like I said, God is good, and he protected that, and it didn't even swell. I didn't put anything on it either. I just kept trying to work in here because I knew I had to get done. So how is that possible? So that's nobody but Jesus. So as I tell you, you got to have Jesus around. I mean, he saved me from so many things that, I mean, I should be gone. I should be taking a dirt nap like about 4 times over for the way oh, my bangs are getting kind of long, by as crazy as I was in my younger days. So, you know, the circumstances I put myself in, oh, good heavens to Betsy. And some of it just by being naive, you know, and just not even realizing. So that, yeah. I got one hair. You know, one of those hairs you can see, but you don't know where it's coming from. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so I'm going to get off of here. So do have Jesus in your life. I'm not kidding you. Put him front and center. If you'd already know him, well, get to know him. It's never too late. You could be 90 years old and still don't know the Lord and reject him, and then still accept him when you're 90, and he'll still be there for you. Why take a chance? I don't get that, you know. I just don't, you know. So if you don't know for sure, try it. How did they used to say? Try it, you'll like it. Used to be the commercials. So it's try the Lord. If everything else has failed and nothing has worked for you, why not try Jesus? I tried everything in the past. I tried everything. I didn't do the drugs and the alcohol. I just wasn't into that. Now I touched the phone by accident. Oopsies. I don't know why and what I did. But I got a little yellow square there. Why? Anyway, so I saw something. I thought it was a piece of dirt. I was trying to get it off, and now I messed up my phone. Anyway, so, hey, try Jesus. If you don't know him. But you do want to be sincere. Don't do it flippant. That's not going to work. Because he knows you're not honest at that point. So that would be my advice. And help one another. Please help one another. Please. If I would have had somebody here this morning, it would have been 10 times easier. It wouldn't be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I probably would have finished 2 hours before. But when you're trying to figure stuff out by yourself, and you're trying to do things by yourself, it just goes like that. So if you know someone that needs some help, help them. If you can. And that doesn't mean go giving all your money away. And just throwing money out the window. You know, like, okay, I'll give it to this one, this one, this one, and this one. Like if it's raining money. Well, it's probably not. And then you're going to find yourself broke. So use your head. But help one another. Be kind to one another. It doesn't cost you a thing to say hi and smile at someone. That is free. So, a good idea. So that's my rant for today, or my advice for today, my rant for today, whatever you want to call it. I like the way the van looks right now, and I don't like how my hair looks right now, because that's why I keep messing with it, but I like how my van looks right now. I am going to go and grab something to eat. It's going to be a late lunch. There's probably going to be kids out right now because of school. But in the buses and I have to get gas anyway. So we'll go get gas, go roll up the road, see what is it that I want to eat. Or maybe go eat first and then roll up the, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I want to get the dog out of the house because she's in there all day. That's not fair to her. And it's a nice day and it's not too hot. So she could go walk up to the mailbox with me and then, you know, hop in the car and go somewhere. So... But I am always keeping something on me after that last incident with that other dog. So just saying. But guys, I will talk to you later. That's long enough. I'm sure it's over long enough. So I will see you in the next video. I'll add the bench in there. And eventually I'll get the lights in there. And then I can put a video on with the lights on. The bench. And it'll be, look at my little house in the back here. So... I'll be working on that, in the next few days. I want to get it done in about 5 days if I can. And then I got to start loading up stuff from the house. So anyway, I will talk to you later. And I definitely will see you in the next video. And if you don't see me, it'll be the van. So either way, but my voice will be there. So I will talk to you later. Do help one another, please, really. And love one another as the Lord has loved you. So aloha nui loa, love you much. And mahalo nui loa, thank you so much for listening to Van Life with Minister Mary. Aloha keakoa. And aloha.